Hey everyone, it's Richard Metalfan here. Bringing you guys a brand new, long-awaited CD and vinyl, or I should just call it a music collection update. It's kind of drilly outside. Forgive me if the quality is it's kind of dark in my room, so I just need to light it up. But yeah, I bought a lot of music stuff in the last few months. Since then, it's almost like a week or so before Christmas, so I just want to get caught up with some of the stuff I've gotten. I have like a ton of CDs right here. I got like a stack of vinyls right over here. And I also want to showcase some music DVDs I've actually gotten as well. Well, in the last couple weeks, I've actually gotten some music DVDs, even though I haven't really collected any of these in a while, but I've gotten like 5 right here. So I'll showcase these all right now. First off, this live DVD I gotten is of All That Remains Live. Now, if you've known me, I'm sort of like this, like not really a huge All That Remains fan, but this is actually a pretty good DVD. This is it actually came out in 2007. It has like a little live concert and also has some like interviews. They have like a Guitar Hero competition back when that video game series was actually relevant. And it has like some music videos and photo galleries and stuff. It's a pretty good DVD. Next up, we got Dream Theater, their Chaos in Motion 2007-2008. This came out 08, so hard to believe it came out 10 years ago. As that disc one has like a concert, which actually I feel like some of these songs were filmed from like different parts of their touring of Systematic Chaos, the album that we're supporting at the time. And the second CD has like a behind the scenes documentary and some music videos and photo tour and a gallery and stuff. Next up, we got Visual Lacuna Coil, Visual Karma, Body, Mind, and Soul. Like I said, I'm sort of like not really a huge fan of these guys, but I actually do saw this and I actually do enjoy some of their stuff. And the first disc has some like live stuff and the music videos, and the second DVD has like sort of like the band members talking about themselves and sort of like behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. Next up, we got the infamous Metallica Some Kind of Monster documentary, which everybody should probably know what this is about. But the band's sort of like during the time when they were making Saint Anger, and sort of like the band pretty much were almost broken up at the time, and all this other shit that they were going through. But of course, they managed to work it out, and they're still together to this day. And last DVD to show you guys is Tenacious D Complete Masterworks. I just had to get this. I think this came out in 2003. Has like some live videos, and they had their little episodes that they had a little show on HBO. Their episodes there, and also has a second CD, the disc with like some short films, some TV appearances, and the music videos for Tribute and Wonder Boy, and a on the road documentary. So yeah, this is a good pickup, and I actually do like Tenacious D. Fight me. And yeah, that's it. Now for the CDs. I'll try not to comment on much. I'll try to like blow through it all. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started with the CDs. First two we got is Abigail Williams, though their Legend EP. Got this from when I saw them back in September, and they're pretty good. And then I got Becoming. I think one of their recent albums. I really like this. I think this came out in 2012. Pretty good. Next up, we got Aborted, Strychnine 213. Just some sick grinding death metal right here, and I do love Aborted, one of my favorite bands. And of course, I got the new album, Terror Vision, which this album nearly shit my pants. This is probably arguably the most heaviest album I've heard all year. I think this is like a lot better than their last album, Retrogore. But then again, I love everything that Aborted has done. One of the sickest death metal bands I've heard. Next up, kind of an odd one out, which I actually do like this, which is the new Alice in Chains album, Rainier Fog, which it's Alice in Chains. Honestly, one of the best bands from the 1990s whole grunge movement that honestly they're probably the best in that they have like more of the heavier edge compared to all the other grunge bands at the time. Yeah, and honestly, Alice in Chains, in my opinion, never failed to release a bad album. In my opinion, they're just that good. Next up, we got Annotations of an Autopsy Before the Throne of Infection. Then another one of my favorite albums of 2018, which I was highly anticipated for, which was New Architects album, Holy Hell. I think it's a pretty damn good album. I like it a lot better than All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us. Like, it's just a very emotional album. Just the guitars, it's just sound great. It's just overall really great album. If you haven't heard this, if you're a fan of like post progressive like metalcore, check it out. Next up, we got As They Burn, Aeon's War. Next one I got was In Our Wake by Atreyu, their new album, which as you can see, this is a signed copy from when I actually did a meet and greet with them, and then I just got it. I think it's okay. It doesn't compare to like their older stuff like the Curse or a Death Grip on Yesterday. Next up, we have another one of my favorite albums, 2018. Which is the new Behemoth album, I Loved You at Your Darkest. As you can see, it is signed by the band from when I saw them a couple months ago. I did their little VIP meet and greet, and it's a really great album. I think it's equally as good as The Satanist, but yeah, I don't know if better. Next up, we got Bill Aker, Stones Reach. Becoming the Archetype, Mechanics of Dysfunction. Black Label Society, Mafia. What can I say? Just Zakk Wylde's the man. I really love BLS. Next up, Bleed From Within, Humanity. Bleeding Through, Portrait of the Goddess. Another one of my most anticipated albums of 2018 that I'm glad to own, pretty much one of my favorites, which was the new Bloodbath album, The Arrow of Satan is Drawn. Just some really good Swedish death metal right here. It's just gnarly sounding. I really wish they would come toward the States. Well, I know they do some little U.S. tours here and there, but I would really love it if they were to play in Atlanta. I'd be fucking there. Next up, we got The Browning, Burn This World. Next up, we got Burn the Priest, Legion XX, which, if you know, they would later become Lamb of God, but this is sort of like they went back to their old name, Burn the Priest, for this album, where it's like a covers album. They covered like a lot of like punk stuff, which is really good. I really love the song Kerosene. It's really great. Next two CDs I actually got were, I think, very cheap, and I don't think you could find these anywhere, but I saw them. They were like $2.99 or so at my local CD store off of Bells Ferry in Marietta, which would be the first two albums from German metalcore band Caliban. We got, I believe, their debut album, A Small Boy and a Grey Heaven, and their second album, Vent. And I really wish Caliban would come toward the U.S. I would buy tickets as soon as they go on sale. That's just me. Next up, I'm actually going to see them on Saturday at Zydeco in Birmingham, Alabama, and that would be Eternal Nightmare by Chelsea Grin, their new album. It's really good. It's their first album with their new vocalist, Tom Barber, formerly of Lorna Shore. It's really good, and here's the front, the inside. Yeah, I'm really hoping I could try to meet Chelsea Grin and have them sign this. It'd be pretty cool. Next up, we got Chthonic, Cetic Bale, some good symphonic black metal hailing all the way from Taiwan. And these guys are hugely underrated in my opinion. I really like them. I really wish they would come toward the States. I know they haven't done a U.S. tour since probably like 2011 or so. If they were to come to Atlanta, I'd buy tickets in a heartbeat. A hugely underrated band in my opinion. Next up, we got Comeback Kid, Broadcasting, Doth, The Hinderers. Some really good death metal hailing all the way from my home state, Georgia and Atlanta. So check them out if you haven't heard them. I really wish they would do some new stuff. Next two CDs are from the same band. I needed some more albums of there in my collection. That'd be Darkthrone. We got Hate Them. And their most recent album, Arctic Thunder, which I finally own. So yeah, I'm looking to get more Darkthrone at some point. I need to get more. I only have like 5 so far. Next up, we got Death Angel, Relentless Retribution. This was sort of their, I believe, their comeback album from their one last album, which I can't remember. It's some good thrash metal, and honestly another underrated band in the whole scene of the 1980s and stuff. Next up, another one of my favorite albums of this year being Overtures of Blasphemy by Deicide. Deicide can do no wrong. Just one of the most sickest death metal bands I've heard. Love it. Next up, two CDs from this band. I don't know why it took me so long to finally own something. That'd be Deeds of Flesh with Path of the Weakening and Crown of Souls. And rest in peace there to one of the guys that passed. I forget his name, but yeah, just rest in peace. We'll miss you. I don't know if he was on those albums, but I know who it is. Just I can't. Just the name just hasn't came to me. But yeah, moving on. We have Demon Hunter, Storm the Gates of Hell. Some good Christian metal right here. Here, I don't know. I mean, I actually like them. They're not like preachy, but they're really good. I like them. Next up, we got Devourment, Unleash the Carnivore. Just some relentless death metal. Here, got Dillinger Escape Plan, Calculating Infinity. I got their debut album right here. Yeah, it's a shame. I really wish I could have saw them before they broke up. Still kicking myself for missing that. So we got Divine Heresy, Bleed the Fifth. Up we got Dream Theater, Octavarium. Then we have Discarnate, Annihilate to Liberate. That's it for that pile. Moving on to the second one right here. We got Faith No More, The Real Thing. No, wait, Angel Dust, sorry. Blech, fuck that up. Next up, this was a hard to get one, but I finally glad to own this, which would be Fit for an Autopsy, The Process of Human Extermination. Has my buddy Patch Ridian on guitar with the band. It's really good. Next up, one of the better newer metalcore bands I've heard, and I got their new album right here, which would be Dark Skies by Fit for a King. And I don't know how well you can see this. I'll probably just take it out of the booklet. If you could see it, it is signed by Jared Esterling and Ryan Kirby. Be right here. And I got it signed from when I saw them a week or so ago with The Devil Wears Prada. It's pretty good show I saw. Next up, one of my favorite albums of 2018, and that'd be Prequel by Ghost, their new album. I know Ghost gets a lot of flack, and I know a lot of people probably make fun of them for being like Scooby-Doo chase music and stuff with the whole gimmick they have of being like satanic popes and shit. But honestly, if you look past all that, I mean, Ghost isn't really that bad of a band. They're pretty catchy, and it's mostly like their fan base is annoying as shit, and it's ironic because I'm actually wearing a Ghost shirt right now from when I saw them a few weeks ago. And it was a pretty good show. Next up, we got another one of my favorite albums of 2018, Hate Eternal, Upon Desolate Lands. Got this from when I saw them last month in Columbia, South Carolina with the Cannibal Corpse. It's a really good album. Next up, we got another newer band I recently got into, and I'm glad I got into these guys, which would be Ice Nine Kills, The Silver Scream. Some really good metalcore right here. They kind of like mix sort of like the horror kind of aspect to it with their styles of metalcore, which I think is really great. Next up, I got some classic death metal right here. I got some Incantation. We got Diabolical Conquest and The Infernal Storm. Next up, Jeff Loomis, Zero Order Phase. He really needs to do some more solo stuff. Next up, we got Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith. No introduction there, just classic Judas Priest. And next up, I actually got this a couple days ago, which would be Silverthorn by Camelot. This is actually a digibook, and actually comes with it was in a box set, which I'll showcase in just a sec. Yeah, I actually have like the box set right here, and it also has like a bonus disc with sort of like the instrumentals of the album, and it also has a special limited edition storyboard book, which I believe sort of like tells like the story of the album in like a book form. And it also has this poster right here, which I don't know if I'll have any space to hang it up, wall space in my bedroom to hang it up, but yeah, it's a pretty good album. I really love Camelot, and they're coming here in October of next year, so I'm definitely want to go see Camelot since I missed them the last time they were here, when they were here back in May, and I'm still kind of kicking myself for that, but yeah, whatever. Just put this right there. Next up, we got Lacuna Coil, Unleashed Memories. Like This Torch Revival. As you can see, it is signed by 2 of the members from when I saw them with Trivium. And this was, of course, Devil You Know, the band, but for legal reasons, they changed their name to Light This Torch. So we got Man Must But Die, No Tolerance for Imperfection. Yeah, sorry about that. Next up, we got Make Them Suffer, Never Bloom, their debut album, which you can see it is signed by their vocalist Sean from when I saw them back in October with After the Burial and the Acacia Strain. And some really good deathcore, symphonic deathcore. And I know for some reason, when I was talking to their vocalist Sean, I was asking them about their name, if they came from the song by Campbell Corse, but apparently it came from the band, the lyric from, forget the one band he said, but anyway, that's not important. Next up, we got Molotov Solution, The Harbinger. Necrophagus, Epitaph, their final album, and no, they're never going to make a new album, and it's been 14 years, and I don't even care. Next up, one of my favorite albums of this year, that'd be Diluvium by Obscura. Some really good, sick technical death metal. I got this from, and they actually got it signed from when I saw them back near the end of September. They're some really nice dudes as well. Next 3 CDs are just some nostalgic band for me, and I just saw these in, or 4, I should say. Next up, we got Heavy POD. I love these guys. We got Snuff the Punk, their little EP, little local stuff. This came out in '93 or so, and I got this. And this kit was only cost me like $2.99. And of course, I got Satellite, just a classic album, like Alive, Boom, Youth of the Nation, just some classic stuff. And their self-titled album, Payable on Death. And I also got their 2012 album I forgot to showcase, Murdered Love, which is pretty cool. I love the one song, Eyes, which has Jamie Josta from Hatebreed. And the most interesting song has to be the song I Am, which apparently it's the first time POD actually cursed, because there's a line in there saying, "Who the fuck is he?" Which is weird, a POD, a Christian band, saying fuck. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a ballsy move, but I like it. Next up, we got Revocation, The Outer Ones, their new album. I mean, it's Revocation. These guys can do no wrong. Love it. Next up, we got Roadrunner United, the All-Star Sessions. This came out in 2005. And it actually has like a bunch of like musicians from Roadrunner as part of the 20th anniversary. They did like some new original songs. They all like teamed up, and they had like Joey Jordison from Slipknot, Dino Cazares of Fear Factory, Rob Flynn from Machine Head, Matt Heafy of Trivium. A lot of great people doing like different like songs and stuff. Next 2 CDs are from my home state. I decided to get some stuff from them, and I finally own all their stuff on CD. That'd be Sevendust. We got Time Travelers and Bonfires, which is actually a little bit of an acoustic album. They actually did some new acoustic songs, like new original stuff, and some acoustic versions of some of their older stuff. It would be cool to see some of the acoustic versions, the newer stuff done on electric, which would be pretty cool. And of course, I got the new album, All I See Is War. It's a really great album. Like, Sevendust can do no wrong. This is probably the best album they've done to date. I'm actually looking forward to seeing them play at the Masquerade. They're playing 3 nights, 28th on the 29th, and on New Year's Eve. So I'll be at all 3. So if anybody is going to that, I'll see you there. Next up, another Atlanta band, Rising by Stuck Mojo. Hugely underrated band. And they just have like the whole wrestling things for this album. It's hard to believe this came out 20 years ago. Yeah. Next 4 CDs I got from the same band. I completed their discography. That'd be Suffocation. We got Pierced From Within. As you can see, I have some of these are all signed by Frank Mullen from when I saw him on his last tour ever. Then we also have Despise the Sun, Souls to Deny, and the self-titled. Yep, another one of my favorite albums of this year, that'd be Down Below by Tribulation. Like, I really like these guys. I saw them, back in October, and it was an okay show. There was hardly, like, anybody there, but they're really great. I like them. Next up, we got Erase Me by Underoath, their new album. It was their long-awaited album after they broke up in 2013, but they made a new album, which I thought was all right. Sounds different from like their other stuff. Then we got Vital Remains, Into Cold Darkness. Then we have a couple 2 CDs from Warbringer. We got War Without End and World Torn Asunder. All I just need now is their third album, which I forget the name of, and I have all their stuff. And last CD to show you guys is Wretched Beyond the Gate. Yeah, that's it for the CDs. Now on to the vinyls. First off, I got like 10 vinyl right here. So let's just start this off. We got After the Burial with Rare Form. As you can see, I have it signed by the band from when I saw them, and it was great to see this album played in its entirety. And the vinyl itself is a green with a black splatter, which is awesome. Next one I got, which I just showcased on CD, I got the new Architects album, Holy Hell, on vinyl. And just like the gatefold right here is just wow. Now, and it's the vinyl itself is sort of a kind of like a smoke marble, which is amazing. If I could just put this back here. Next one I got, and is one of my favorite albums of this year, which would be the new Behemoth album, At I Loved You at Your Darkest. As you can see, it is signed by the band, and here is the gatefold right here, and it's just a simple black vinyl. Next one I got in is one of my favorite albums of last year, which would be Red Before Black by Cannibal Corpse. I got this on their tour kickoff in South Carolina. As I could see, it also came signed by the band. I don't know how I could see it. And the vinyl itself is a blue vinyl. So yeah, it's really good. Next up, we got three vinyls right here from the same band. I actually got this one today. I saw this at Criminal Records at Little 5 Points in Atlanta, and I had to get this. That'd be Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder by Cradle of Filth. Really love this. It's the back right here with the band, and here is the gatefold right here with the lyrics and a burning guy and stuff. And I believe this is just a simple black vinyl. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them in April. Road tripping to Charleston, South Carolina, and I want to try to hit up the Greensboro Day in North Carolina as well if I can. Next up, and there's some really good friends of mine, and I also got one of my favorite albums of 2015, Hammer of the Witches, and we'll open up the gatefold, which has the band. You could definitely see there's my homie Lindsay right there. I'm good friends with her. Same thing with Martin, their drummer, and Ashok, their guitar player. Yeah, this was actually a limited vinyl. I don't know how much limited was with the copies, but the vinyl itself is a dark green vinyl, which is pretty cool. Let me put this back in. And then I got their latest album, which came out last year, which would be Cryptoriana, The Seductiveness and Decay. And here's the gatefold with the band members again. And this vinyl was limited to 500 copies, and this vinyl itself is a blue with white splatter, which is gnarly. Okay, so yeah, some of the cool, great guys. I'm good to be friends with the band, one of your favorite bands ever. Next one was sort of like one of the last vinyls I got in, which would be The Devil Wears Prada with Roots Above and Branches Below. As you can see, it is signed by the band. And it was great to see this album played in its entirety. The only shitty thing is it didn't come with a little vinyl sleeve, the sleeve that protects the vinyl, but the vinyl itself is a kind of this cool vinyl, weird yellowish stuff, blue vinyl. The next one I got in is I actually found an original press of this one. This cost me like $50 at CD Warehouse, which would be an original press of Megadeth's Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. And yep, this is actually an original press from 1985, which actually has the controversial These Boots, which I believe it was taken off the later ones or censored for copyright. Next one I got to support the ATL again, which would be Sevendust. I got their debut album on vinyl. Oh, and this is actually a 2 LP, and the vinyl itself is a yellow vinyl, which is sick. And the last vinyl to show you guys, this was the band that got me into metal. I saw this and I had to get this, which would be Toxicity by System of a Down. The band that got me into metal, I had to get this. Like, first time I heard Chop Suey, I was hooked away. So yeah, that's my CD and vinyl update for you guys, or music updates. I know it's been a long ass time. I'll try to get some more for Christmas, or if I get a couple other stuff before that, I'll showcase that in the Christmas video, as well as the Christmas stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you all in the next video, and keep it metal.